Welcome, Matt Bauersachs of Learn to Live Recovery in St. Louis, Missouri. Did I say Missouri right? Is that right?
Missouri, however you want to say it, my man.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for supporting My Help Connects, for putting up your profile, for getting on there. We were introduced through a mutual friend, really good guy, and I'm really excited that you're here, and I'm excited to support you and get more knowledge about your services out to the community, which we all work in. We work really hard, and I know you do too, and we've had some conversations, and I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for taking the time. Just a little bit of background. How'd you get here? Tell us a little bit about yourself, and don't be shy, and I'm just glad you're here. Thank you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you having me. It helps, and obviously we're a believer in My Help Connect and having one of these unbiased platforms that gets people the help they need. So first of all, that's great. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks,
Um, so my journey, started like a lot of people in the addiction recovery field. I'm in recovery. I went to treatment in Connecticut. I did structured sober living, stayed there for a year, and then after that, I moved to St. Louis. I was from St. Louis originally, and I spent a lot of my time on the East Coast, and needed a change, and came to St. Louis, and I was lucky enough to be put in a great environment early in my recovery, which obviously paid dividends. I've been sober 10 years.
That's great, man.
This year,
Congratulations.
actually.
That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it continues to be my greatest accomplishment every year that I can say that I'm still sober.
That's wonderful.
I'm passionate about helping people in recovery rebuild their lives. I've worked in the treatment field. I've been the tech, the substance abuse counselor. I have a bachelor's in social work from Southern Illinois University. I have a master's in social work from St. Louis University. And recently, it's just always been a dream of mine to open one of these structured sober livings here in Missouri, because it's something that we don't have here regionally. And it's new really for the people here, and it's a needed thing. I was furloughed from my job at the treatment center, and I got the time and the opportunity to start this thing, pandemic or not, right?
That's wonderful.
And just spent the past year getting ready to do it, and we opened in January, actually on my 10-year anniversary of sobriety.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
congrats, man. And this is it
appreciate
right
it.
here behind me, right?
Yep. So that's the house. So the cool thing about the house, just to get that out of the way, was it was the stonework was like it was the original house. It's been here. I think it was like 1928 or something, and then they
Long
did an
time.
addition. Yeah, so they did an addition on the house, which created what you'll see on the website and different things like that. Like 6 or 7 years ago, they did the addition, which is beautiful behind it. So it's got some history, but it's also really nice on the inside too. But yeah, that's the place.
That's wonderful, man. And well, let's take a look at what you put up here, and let's go through it together, and let's see if this pops anything out at us. So myhelpconnect.com, you're familiar with it. You put your site up here. So we're going to click You're Sober Living. So we're going to click Sober Living. And what's the zip code over there?
65041.
041. All right, so there you are. Learn to Live Recovery, upscale structured sober living. And let's take a look at your profile. And all right, so looks like the issues you guys treat are addiction, alcohol abuse, alcohol dependence, drug abuse, substance abuse, and young adults and adults. The average length of stay is 90 days there. All right. 24/7 staff.
Yep.
and you got case managers Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Tell us a little bit about the case management.
Yeah, so one of the things we want to provide is to help these guys kind of rebuild their lives, and case management is a big part of that. So they meet with our case manager. She's my program coordinator as well. Her name's Taylor Stewart. She has a long history in kind of helping these folks out, and is a great way to connect them to new opportunities where it comes to jobs, the different things they might need. Maybe they need more, to help schedule doctor's appointments that they might need. If they're in probation and parole, she works as kind of a go-between between them and us. We're able to kind of send them progress reports and things based on kind of how they're doing with us. Also, she works with parents, helping them get the help that they need, from a support standpoint, because this is, a family disease, as we know. And,
There you are,
from
Matt B. There you are.
that,
And this
that's
is
me.
her. This is Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
All
Taylor.
right,
Yep.
wonderful. Okay, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Yeah. So, we want to focus on giving these guys kind of passion and purpose while they're with us, right? So they're doing, we're lucky enough to work with these guys after they go through the detox process, and a lot of times a treatment program prior to this. And so now, once the fog is lifted, what do they do with their lives, right? And one of the things I think is so important that we should focus on is, like, what do you like to do? What are your interests? How do we get you into that?
That's right.
And so,
That's right.
we have guys that have gone back to college for new things. We have guys that are going to go to trade school, and also getting them a career and not just a job, so that when they leave, they have something to go to.
Learn to live recovery seems like more than just a regular old sober living, special even. Can you describe what it is? Now, it sounds like you kind of did that a little bit. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. So, what I want to do is provide wraparound kind of services and supports to our guys. So that first starts with the schedule of things. So throughout the week, we have different mindfulness things that we do to help them kind of work through the different struggles that we have in sobriety. And it really helps with emotion regulation, and so many, just getting rid of that way of thinking. And so we do meditation twice a week. Somebody comes in, does those singing bowls, which is great. And she has
Oh,
like
crystal bowls? Like,
yeah.
oh man, that's great.
And then we also do yoga weekly. We do equine therapy, where they get to work with horses, and our the person who facilitates that actually helps rehabilitate horses that have been through a trauma. And so our guys are not only getting help from the service, but they're also being of service,
Wow.
which is
Anybody scared
a
of
really cool
horses?
thing.
You had a client that's scared of horses?
Sometimes they're a little iffy, and then
Yeah.
they get their feet wet, and it's all about opening our comfort zone, right? Trying new things, and really just trying to put yourself out there, right? That's
Matt
really kind of
B,
the learning experience.
can I tell you a secret, Matt B? It's
Yeah.
not going to be a secret anymore. I'm scared of horses. I got to be honest with you. All right.
All
I'm
right.
scared of them. And I'm sorry. And I really don't want to be, but I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I've done some equine, and it's really a beautiful experience. And I always leave pretty uplifted. So I know that, some people throw that out there, equine therapy. But I'll tell you what, I have experienced it, and I've really enjoyed myself. And I'm glad you provide that service. I'm sorry to cut you off. Keep going. I apologize. I just want
No
to jump in.
worries. No worries at all. We also provide access to a gym. So anyone that comes has access to a gym. We want them to work that, those endorphins and all the great things that can come from taking care of your body too. So we encourage that as much as possible as well. We also subscribe to kind of the healing action that nature can provide. We love the outdoor adventure aspect of things. We love to go on hikes and get outside and go fishing, kayaking, and do all the great things. Here in this area of Missouri, it's a very hilly, it's a very beautiful place. We're right on the Missouri River. And so there's access to a lot of those things here, and we love that. And our clients love that too. And then, like I said, we have a program. My resident coordinator lives on site 24 hours. So it's his full-time job to help these guys. So he's not part-time like some of these places that you'll see. The support is there a lot. And then the other thing that we do from that sets us apart is this thing we call data-driven recovery, where we're able to kind of track the movements of our guys, the touch points, take the opinion entirely out of it. What did they do and what did they not do? And it's able to tell a story. But we're also able to do safety checks like 10, 13 times a day, to where we have eyes on the client and we see that they're safe. So safety is obviously the first important thing. And then the other thing is like, what are they showing up to? Are they med compliant? Are they able to eat their 3 meals a day? Are they update on their chores, and what actually are they doing while they are with us? Right.
That's right. That's so important, man. That's beautiful. Well, you answered the next question already, and that was, what do you believe that you guys do that proved to be most effective? And it sounds like you answered that already. Is that right?
Yeah. So we in a couple different ways, I guess I answered it right. So the passion and purpose piece, I think, instead of just kind of trudging through all the things that can come up from recovery, being able to give them back that is huge. And so we put a high focus on that to set them up for success when they leave. But also another thing that we do is we do a lot of rec events. So we go to baseball games, we go to just kind of anything where we can show them that you can have fun in recovery. You can go to these places and have a good time and be sober and be, and have fellowship with other guys that are doing the same thing as you. And for me, that's what I needed, man. I was like, man, I'm never going to be able to go to a concert again. I'm never going to be able to go to a baseball game again. I can't. And I'm wrong. I was wrong. You can do those things. And so that's another huge aspect too.
What's your favorite concert?
My favorite concert I've ever been to?
That's right.
Man.
You didn't see that one coming. All right.
I saw Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
And that was probably the best concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
I like a wide range of music. I find music to be both calming and uplifting.
That's right.
And so, I can go to a country concert and enjoy myself, and I can go to a rock concert and enjoy myself. And, that's what I want these guys to know as well.
That's great that you take them on that experience, so they're not just doing it on their own, right? They got a crew they're going with, man. That's great. So, all right. So let's talk about where your clients are coming from and how you transition them into your sober living program, and then also how you're transitioning them out of your program to leave. Where are they going? What are they doing? How do you prepare for those steps, etc.?
No, that's great. So, as we're new, we're creating relationships with treatment centers and detoxes and private practice therapists and whoever, just to kind of get our name out there. For the most part, our referrals have been kind of word of mouth. We've also gotten a few referrals from some treatment programs here in St. Louis. We do have kind of an intake process that's unique. So we do the pre-screen kind of over the phone. We get a call, hey, just to make sure that they're a good fit for us, because ethically we want to have people that are good fits for us, because ultimately they're going to do well in our program.
That's right.
If they're not, we're wasting their time and money, and I don't want to do that. So that it starts with the pre-screen. We have also developed kind of a quick application where we can get to know the person, find out kind of what they like. Have they been to, a treatment setting before? What did they like about that? What do they enjoy? Who's going to be a good roommate? All these things we're kind of learning from that application. And then ultimately I meet with everyone before they come.
Smart.
I want to hear their story.
You go visit them wherever they are, and you meet with them?
I've done Zoom meetings. I've gone to them. I can do it over the phone. It just kind of depends on what situation they're coming from.
That's
I
a big
want
deal, man.
to, yeah, and I'm, I don't plan on stopping that at any time soon. I want them to know me. I want them to know what I'm about. And then I ultimately want them to feel comfortable coming to Learn to Live Recovery and knowing what we do and that we're passionate about this work. And I think that speaks volume in that I'm involved in the intake process. I also get to hear their motivation level. I want people that want this, and we're lucky enough that the people that we've had so far have done really well. And I think that's due to that process.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So what
Yeah,
about, go ahead. Sorry.
and then as far as the second part of the question, as how we transition them out, right? Which is important as well. So while they're here, they're going through kind of what we call the 3 milestones of Learn to Live Recovery. It's learn, live, and recover. It's right in the name. That first 30 days is very structured. We just want them to learn about themselves, learn our process, get used to the schedule, and then earn kind of the more privileges to have independent time, to have, maybe have a car, and to work and to do all these things. And then in the live phase, they're really putting that knowledge to action. They're practicing it. And then, in the recover phase, we're really getting them ready for life. They have the ability to work, go back to school, do what, gives them passion. Right. And so we're doing a lot of exploration during this time to say, hey, what do you want to do? Like, what lights your fire? Like, what do you love to do? And some of them will, want to go back to school or whatever. And as far as getting them ready to leave, we spend at least a month getting them ready to know where they're going, where you're going to live first and foremost, right? What are you going to be doing for work? We'll help them call around, get something set up, maybe get ready for an interview. And then also the support process is huge. A lot of these guys are in 12-step programs, AA, NA, whatever that is. We'll call the central services wherever they're from, find them some meetings in the area that they're going to go to, maybe even find them a contact or two. And we're able to do this through, there's a lot of these Facebook groups and things like that where we can reach out for help, and people will send phone numbers and we can set them up with that. And so now that their housing's taken care of, they have a job set up or going back to school or whatever that might be. And then there's supports put in place. Something else I also want to do is help them keep their maintenance up. Right. So that's kind of my wording for, like, what do I need to stay sober? And a lot of times I think therapy is a big part of that. And so I have a laundry list of local regional therapists, people that do telehealth, whatever it might be, their different specialties. I'd like to set them up for that if that's needed as well, because a lot of these folks need that support too.
That's right.
And so we also throw that into the mix. And so when they leave, they're not just walking out the door. Okay, see you later. Hopefully we left them, we put them in a position to succeed and live a sober life worth protecting.
There you go. That's some good stuff. That's a good answer, sir. That's a good answer. So if somebody wants to learn more about Learn to Live Recovery and Mr. Matt B himself and what you guys, how do they contact you? What do they do? Do they go to your website? How do they get a hold of you?
So first, you can find us on My Help Connect. You can look on there and you can see, and there's a link right to our website. But our website is learntoliverecovery.com. You can go on there. The phone number's on there. You can shoot us a note, ask us a question. And the added benefit of that phone number goes right to my cell phone. So I'm taking most of these calls. You'll see me, you'll hear me, and I'll be able to answer your questions, walk you through the process, whatever that might be.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you for telling us about your services. just as a side note, well, I've sort of told you a little bit about what I believe My Help Connect can become with your
Mhm.
help and with the community's help and us collaborating with each other. Um, the idea is to allow more resources into more people's worlds, right? And collaborate and grow and take care of ourselves and continue to grow as providers and as a community. Um, I guess that's more of a statement than a question. But how does that fit into your ideas of what Learn to Live Recovery can be and where you're from and where you want to be? How about that?
Yeah, so I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's important for these people to have a place where they can go to find the help they need, because a lot of people are kind of thrown into this industry without much knowledge. Those of us who have worked in it, we dealt with it, we have some knowledge of it. But these folks that maybe they're a parent and their son is kind of struggling, they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to sift through what's a good program, what's a bad program, what is the difference between this program here and this program there. They just don't know. And what I see from My Help Connect is a place where you verify all the programs that are added. A lot of these people anyway, so the products that they provide, and whether they're ethically sound or worth their salt or not. And I think that's important because on Google, a lot of times you just see whoever spends the most money on
That's
on
right. That's right.
that marketing. And I think My Help Connect helps bridge that gap. And the more we can share it and get it out there so that the people who need to find these things can find them, I think is great.
That means the world to me, Matt. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thanks for jumping in. Looking forward to visiting St. Louis,
Yeah.
Missouri, and
Come on out.
learn more about what you got going on out there and spending some time with you. Thank you again for your time, and looking forward to it. All right.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me.